This video will be on finding a percentage and expressing as a percentage. So our learning goals for today: by the end of the lesson, you'll be able to express a quantity as a percentage of another. You'll also be able to find a percentage of a quantity, and you'll also be able to find the original amount. So some key ideas for today. So expressing one quantity as a percentage of another. So what we have to do is we have to write a fraction first, with the part amount as the numerator and the whole amount as the denominator. We then have to convert the fraction to a percentage by multiplying by 100. So for instance, express a test score of 14 out of 20 as a percentage. So the part amount is the score that they got, so that was the 14. The full amount is the 20, what they could have gotten. And then we have to turn it into a fraction by multiplying by 100. So in your calculator, all you have to type in is 14 divided by 20. So 14 divided by 20, and then multiply that answer by 100. So that will equal 70, and that will be your percentage. So it'll be 70%. So it's as easy as that. Okay, so some key ideas: finding a certain percentage of a quantity. So the first one is express the required percentage as a decimal and then multiply the decimal by the number. So for instance, if you have to find 20% of 80, the first thing you do is express the required percentage as a decimal. So we know to turn 20% into a decimal, we have to divide by 100. So that will give us 0.2. We then have to multiply that by the number that we're trying to find the percentage of. So we're trying to find 20% of 80, so we do 0.2 multiplied by 80. So that's 0.2 multiplied by 80, and that will give us an answer of 16. Or a second way of doing this is express the required percentage as a fraction. So for instance, we want 20%, so it's 20 over 100. Change of 80. So change the of to a multiplication sign. So we have 20 over 100 multiplied by 80, and then we can just follow those rules. So you do 20 divided by 100 multiplied by 80, and that will give you the same answer of 16. Okay, so to find an original amount, we've got two different ways we can do this. So we can use the unitary method, which I've got another video on doing that, or we can use division. So for instance, using the unitary method, if 3% of an amount is $36, we can work out what 1% is, and then we can multiply that up to find out what 100% is. So $36 is 3%, so we will find 1% first, so we'll divide both by 3. So therefore $12 is 1%, and then we want to find out what 100% is. We're going to multiply by 100 on both sides. 12 times 100 is 1,200, and 1 times 100 is 100. So that means, therefore, $1,200 is 100% of the amount. So that's one way you could do it. The second way is using division. So for instance, 3% of the amount is $36, so what is the full amount? Okay, so I'm gonna write like a bit of an expression here. So this means that 0.03, because that's 3% as a decimal, multiplied that by the amount, whatever it is, has to equal $36. Okay, so we can rearrange that fraction to find out the amount by itself. So the amount by itself will be equal to $36 divided by 0.03. We can put that into our calculator, and we'll get the amount is equal to $1,200. So you can do it either way. It's really up to you. Okay, so some worked examples here. So express 60 cents as a percentage of $5. So the first thing we've got to notice is we've got different units here, so we're actually going to have to convert to the same units. So $5, we're going to convert that to cents, so we've got the same amount. So that equals 500 cents. So express it as a percentage. So we put the part amount on top, so it's 60, the full amount on the bottom, 500, and we'll multiply by 100, and that will get us a percentage. So 60 divided by 500 times by 100 is 12, so it's 12%. There we go. Okay, so our second one. So express 2 kilometers as a percentage of 800 meters. Okay, so again, we're going to have to convert to the same amount. So I'm going to convert 2 kilometers to meters. So we're going to multiply by 1,000. So it's 2,000 meters. So the part is 2 kilometers because it's saying express 2 kilometers as a percentage of 800. Even though it's bigger, it's still the part. So it's going to be 2,000 divided by the full amount, which was 800, times by 100. So we'll type that in. So 2,000 divided by 800 times by 100, and you'll get an answer of 250%. So you can see it's over 100%, but that's because our part amount was bigger than our full amount. So 2 kilometers was bigger than 800 meters. Okay, third one, C, 15% of $30. So 15% of $35, I should say. So the way I'm going to work this out is I'm going to turn 15% into a decimal and multiply that by 35. So that'll be 0.15 multiplied by 35. So 0.15 multiplied by 35 equals $5.25. $5.25. Okay, so for D, we have to calculate 155% of 60. So again, I'm going to turn 155 into a decimal, which is 1.55. So I've divided by 100, and I'm going to do 1.55 times 60 to get my answer as a percentage. So 1.55 times 60 equals 93. So obviously that's bigger than what we started with, but that's because we're looking at 100% plus 55 extra percent. So that's why the answer is bigger than what we actually started with. Okay, so then we're on to E. Determine the original amount if 5% is $45. So $45 is 5%, so I'm going to work out what 1% is. I'm going to use the unitary method, so I'm going to divide by 5, so 9 is 1%, and then times by 100 to find out what 100% is. So 9 times 100 is $900. Oh, $900 is 100%. So therefore, 100%. Oh, the original amount, sorry. That's what the question asked us to find, the original amount. So therefore, the original amount, I should write, therefore, the original amount is $900. There we go. And that's the end of this video. Any questions, make sure you come and ask me.